Yo, what is good, everybody? It's your boy, the Strongest Wizard, and tonight is indeed Fight Night, and we have another OP06 match here for you guys. We got my man Ray +1 on the left-hand side, of course, with that Reiju, as well as a Baller on the right with that Rosinante. Now, my friend Baller here is a huge Rosinante stan, and I absolutely love it, just because he's my favorite character in the entire One Piece anime, and how can you not be a fan of this character, man? So let's see if he can actually take this, since this is finals here at DXN. So we swung AK into life, he takes it, uses leader ability here to restand, because if you don't know, your boy's a blocker. Yes, the leader is a blocker. Comes in super handy when you're trying to protect some of your more important characters on the board. But guys, I have to give a quick shout out to today's sponsor, which is DXN Outpost, DXN Provisions, the only place where I get all my sealed product. And currently right now, they do have pre-orders open for the brand new starter deck that's coming out next week, as well as the brand new OP08 booster box, as well as cases. So if you're interested in sealed product, check out the link below. So now we're gonna go ahead and tap 2 here to play the 2-cost draw 3 character, which is absolutely insane. I am very bitter about that card because it's so absolutely good. You spend 2 Dawn, you -1 Dawn, and you draw 3 cards. So good. As well as play a 5k body. It's pretty good. So we do see a 5k swing going into life. We're going to counter out of it with 1. And now we see the spicy X-Drake here. This is the 5-6k blocker. It also allows you to rearrange the top 5 cards of your deck to put it at the top or the bottom, which is super awesome. So this gets to really kind of play out your turns, and makes you utilize the next few turns, which is super awesome. That blue has that access. Unfortunately, currently in the meta, hasn't been too useful. So we see an easy 5k swing going into life. We're going to counter out of it with the Soga King, which of course is that 1k. We're going to go ahead and block this 5k swing, and now we have this Ichiji tapping 4 here to play out the baby version, the younger version, or just a smaller version, to grab out that 7-cost body, making this X-Drake a 2k body. Plus, it has Rush. So we're going to use Stage Ability here to trash 1 card, search top 3 for another Ichiji. Super good against essentially every deck. I mean, he's seen all his pieces so far. He's seen the Reiju, and now we see 8k going into the 6k, but we are going to use that leader to block that attack, keeping our Drake alive and taking a life. We're currently sitting at 3 active with 3 life, and we are going to see a 5k swing going into that 5-cost Reiju. We're going to counter out of it with a 1k. Are we swinging with the Drake? No, we are not. We're just actually going to play at the Soga King to bounce the Reiju, drawing 2, trashing the Red Rock, as well as the X-Drake. And then, of course, since we have 6 cards or less in our hand, we get to restand our leader. Pretty good, honestly. A pretty good turn so far. And now with 6 active Dawn, Ray +1 definitely has some options here. And we're going to start things off with the search here for the stage. Pitching a card, grabbing a card off the top 3. As long as it's a Germa card, you're A-OK. And yes, we get the Niji here. Now, Niji is extremely good to get off these 2-cost Rosinantes that this deck, very, very popularly plays. But my man Ray +1 has 9 cards in hand. Absolutely insane. We see a 7k swing going to life. Are we going to go ahead and block this? We know he has another Ichiji in hand, but yes, we're going to go ahead and block it. We're going to see the block plus the 2k counter, and we are going to now play the 4-cost Ichiji here to -1 Dawn, draw a card, and then Ichiji making that X-Drake once again a 4k body. And I think now for this time we absolutely have to let it go. So we see a 6k swing going into the blocker, and now we're going to block here with the leader drawing a card, taking our own life, dropping down to 2 life. And now are we going to be swinging heavy into the character? Yes, we are. We're going to tap 1 here, of course, for that event card, searching top 5 for a Germa card. Now we have a plethora of options here. We have the 5-cost Reiju as well as the 2-cost Reiju. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and pass the turn We're going to swing an easy 5k swing and going into life. Are we going to see the Soga King? Yes, Soga King 6k into life. Are we dropping down to 2 life? No, we're not. We're going to see the Sanji here to throw the mind-blowing play to play out the, of course, the Mihawk, the 9 cost, being able to bottom deck and EG is extremely good, as well as just having the buy one get one free factor here that this Sanji is able to play. Extremely good. Only issue with this situation here is that Bowler has no blockers to defend his life, and this can definitely become an issue that we might see here. So we're going to start things off with that stage ability once again, seeing our pieces, grabbing another 7 cost EG. You bottom decked 1, you can bottom deck 2. Well, I guess technically you could, but we still got another one, baby. So we're going to see a 7k swing going most likely into life. I don't see why not. I think we just kind of go full steam ahead, and yes, we see the life being taken here, and now we see another HG to play out another 7 cost body, now making that character a of course that 4k body. And now with a 7k swing, we probably will just, honestly, I think we just go for life. I think we're pretty safe regardless. We have a ton of cards in our hand. You could swing 7 and then 8, which is really good. But we're going to swing 6k first. I believe this is just a 2k counter if he has it. If not, I just don't think it's going into Soga King. But it actually was going into Soga King, and he ends up countering out of it with 3 cards out of his hand. This is huge. The fact that he let all that go is extremely, extremely big here. Very surprising here for Baller to let that go, but we do still have that 7k body, and yeah, let's see what he ends up doing. Well, we all know he has the 2 active Dawn, most likely for the 2 cost Reiju. And yes, the Soga King finally comes down. We're going to drop the Reiju here. No real reason to play it just because I think we have more than 5 cards in our hand. So we see an easy 5k swing going into life. That's an easy 1k counter. Now, guys, we have to get rid of these EGGs. There's just too much of an issue. 9k going into one of them. This is 2 cards out of a hand, a 2k and a 1k, in which we do end up seeing. And now we see a 10k swing going into the other EG. Now, this is 2 2ks, but no, we end up letting it go. And now we see the menacing 8-cost kid dropping the Rosinante. That is, of course, the 2 cost. This is a really good card, allowing you to protect your characters that are rested with your characters that are rested. It's just really, really good. You're unable essentially to pop any other character by effect or by attack, as long as it's up there. But we see the counter play coming into the field here, which is going to go ahead and be that Niji being able to pop a 2 cost body or less, which is that Rosinante, using their ability here to draw us a card. And with still 5 active Dawn, we could definitely do some damage here. Are we going to finally see that Reiju coming into play? Yes, we see the Reiju coming into play. Searching our trash for a 5 cost, playing it out for free, well, for minusing 1 Dawn, and then drawing 2 cards. Now, we still have 5 active Dawn. Yes, the Ichiji can swing, but we need to get rid of this kid, man. With only 2 cards in his hand, I think it's just really, how are we doing the math here? So we see an 8k swing going into that kid. We're going to go ahead and use leader ability here to actually block. And what do we have? Are we going to be swinging 9k into that 8 cost kid? Possibly. Yes, we're swinging 8k into Rosinante. We're going to go ahead and counter out of it with the baby 5, and then we're going to go ahead and use stage ability here to pitch a card, grabbing himself a 2k counter. And with 1 Dawn, we're actually playing the 1 cost blocker, a character you do not really see too often. It's a 1 cost character that's a German card. If you have 2 or less, if you have 2 less Dawn than your opponent, you actually gain blocker. So we see a 5k swing going into life. We're going to 1k counter. This just tells me, guys, we're not going for game this turn. No way. Of course, with that blocker, there's probably isn't a way we can get rid of it. And now we see a 9k swing going into the Ichiji. Now, I do know for a fact this Ichiji got to go. But we're going to counter out of it with 2 cards. And now my man Ray only has 2 cards in hand. We see a 9k swing going into life. We're going to go ahead and block it. Now we see another 9k swing going into the EGG. This is the last 2 cards, if it's exactly 3k counter or a 4k counter. And yes, we see the two cards coming down. And now we have another Mihawk 2 bottom deck that character. Now this is extremely huge just because with this Mihawk on the board, it definitely, if we can survive another turn, I feel like there's no way we don't win. We did see an AK swing going into that kid. Now I do know that that wasn't an accident. He didn't mean to swing 7 if you did see that. But once again, guys, this is locals and it's not a big deal. 9k into that character and he has no answer. Ray +1 takes it. Thank you guys so much for checking out this channel as well as this video. And stay tuned because I have a ton of new One Piece content coming out soon. See ya!